What is up, guys? I'm Ian. Welcome to Brokenomics. Today we're talking about the Immutable X token sale announced for September 8th on Coinlist. So before we do, just to say, please give the video a like. It takes like 2 seconds, especially if you watch a lot of our videos and enjoy the content. And if it's the first time you're here, just like consider giving us a sub, because we do a lot of deep dives and proper analysis on ICOs, IDOs, and early stage projects especially. In terms of the sale details, there's 5% of the tokens up for sale at this. 2% are in option 1, 3% are in option 2. Option 1 is $10 per token and unlocks linearly from 6 months from October 19th. And option 2, you pay the premium to essentially have that time cut in half. So it's an extra 50%, $15 per token, and it unlocks on 3 months. And before people say it's expensive or whatever, this actually translates to a $260 million valuation, which is actually less than half of what Credo and Vega, two recent Coinlist projects, launched at fully diluted. So they could have just minted 100 times as many tokens, sold them for 10 and 15 cents, and nobody said it would be expensive, or nobody would have said it was expensive, but they didn't. So in terms of the fundraising history, the seed round was undisclosed in 2018, and in 2019 they raised 15 million, which I think is the same as they're raising in the ICO now. In terms of the token distribution, yeah, I mean, this is not great because, it doesn't have things like team tokens, advisors. It really hasn't split it up into many categories, and we can't see exactly where the tokens sit unless there are no team tokens. Maybe there were no advisors. I don't know. But it certainly would be better to have a little more info than that. So this, again, token release schedule. I mean, come on, guys. You're raising a lot of money. Like, you used a table to build this. Just give us the table. All we can see from this is that somewhere around month 10, which would be like, if it launches in October, month 10, month 11, it'd be like somewhere around August of next year. We're going to see it go from what we can assume is like, I don't know, 6 point something million tokens in supply to over 9 million tokens in supply. So yeah, look for a lot of selling pressure somewhere around here, but we can't tell exactly where. So I would just urge that. I did go and ask on Telegram. I just didn't get any response or the details. So anyway, in terms of their pitch, right? So the whole thing, concept behind this is a zero knowledge rollup. And essentially, a zero knowledge rollup is a layer 2 blockchain solution that performs computations and storage off chain while funds are held in a smart contract, right? So this is used as opposed to, say, using another layer 1 solution to do it, or creating, something like Flow, which is very NFT focused, to just deal with NFTs itself. So what they're saying these zero knowledge rollups do is they unlock massive scale, 9,000 transactions per second, zero gas fees, which is true within the ecosystem, but absolutely untrue if you're moving funds onto or off the ecosystem. You will still interact with normal Ethereum gas fees, as we found out when we tried. User maintain custody. Again, committing to zero knowledge proofs to Ethereum, so users can always verify and withdraw their assets. Play to earn ready, instant transactions, and they say sidechains suck. And I listened to a really good interview with the founder. He was very, very good, made a really compelling argument for the technology, but I would say he thinks pretty much everything that's not Immutable X in this space sucks. So, you have to just be careful not to drink too much of the Kool-Aid with this stuff. Vitalik has said that rollups are essentially the near and midterm scaling solution for Ethereum. And what near and midterm means essentially is that until ETH 2.0 arrives. Where that leaves these guys sitting after that, I'm not exactly sure. But just rollups are not without their faults. In terms of security, which we'll touch on in a bit. But the big problem is that DeFi applications find it easier to communicate with each other as everything is done simply on the Ethereum main chain. So they would have had a number of options here. They could have gone, with alternative blockchains, and essentially what they say there is, yes, but these guys are all in on Ethereum. Like, they're just like, Ethereum's the most decentralized, it's the best, it's got the best developer community, and we're not going with another blockchain. The other blockchains just sacrifice decentralization and security for throughput or speed, and that's not something we're prepared to do. And they kind of sort of basically are kind of saying like, oh, we've solved the trilemma with this. But yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be the first to say it, but they probably would be the first to do it, right? So with Flow, like, just to give an example of where they could go to, if this is launching at $260 million fully diluted valuation, and Flow as number 77 now, largest cryptocurrency with a 29 billion fully diluted, only a tiny amount of that circulating as well. Jesus, that'll make you nervous a little bit holding Flow without having a clear idea of the release schedule. And Flow is kind of like operates off in its own little pocket as well. But with this, what they're trying to sell is not just their marketplace, but more importantly, the actual protocol can be sold to other marketplaces on Ethereum, like OpenSea, who they've already announced a partnership, or Rarible or whoever, to actually use their protocol. And that would mean that interacting between OpenSea, Rarible, and Immutable X would be without the gas fees, as long as you're within that ecosystem. So that's where the real gains, I feel, are on this, or the real potential is the protocol going to become the standard for NFTs on Ethereum, with all these play to earn games and all the NFT marketplaces. If that's the case, I mean, this could 100% be huge. State channels as well would be another option they could have gone with, like Affinity or Raiden, but they have their own issues as well. So the cons of these zero knowledge rollups are essentially that their security considerations, their quantum computing poses a threat to hacking the blockchain, and the security scheme assumes a level of unverifiable trust. Also, the initial setup of ZK rollups promotes a centralized structure as well. In terms of the partnerships they have, obviously OpenSea is huge. I mean, that was announced on Twitter a few months ago, I think, and absolutely massive. If they can get the biggest one in terms of NFT marketplaces to fall, then perhaps the others won't be long after them, and this actually becomes the standard for Ethereum. Gods Unchained as well, a huge game. I haven't interacted with it much, in Illuvium as well. So yeah, but the big one really there is OpenSea. I mean, if that one, yeah, if they get them on board, I can see it really becoming just the standard for Ethereum. That every marketplace in Ethereum just operates on the Immutable X protocol. So in terms of the team, we've got James and Robbie Ferguson. I guess, are they two twins? I don't know. We have to decide which one's the evil one. Co-founder and CEO, co-founder and president, both Forbes 30 under 30. And we've got Alex Connolly, who was involved in the Ethereum open source ecosystem as well. And I would say, from watching that interview with, I actually don't know if it was James or Robbie now, he spoke really well, very passionate guy. Obviously super bullish on his own project, but had some really good explanations. And I'll link that interview in the description, that made it easy for me to understand exactly why they were going the route they were going. So yeah, my thoughts on this is it's a very interesting project, a lot better than some of the projects we've seen on Coinlist recently that I wasn't super positive about. And yeah, I mean, hopefully I get in on the sale. Not financial advice. Hope this video was helpful. Smash the sub button if it was. Cheers, lads, and good luck.